on, intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we talk about the drama that unfolded between Asmongold and Elon Musk over the leaked DMs that happened in the conversation beforehand. We have a lot of fun in this conversation, but before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, share the video out there, smash the like button, comment below who you think was right and wrong in this interaction, and with all of that out of the way, let's get into the video. So what have you heard about Asmongold and Elon Musk outside of like me going over it with you before?
I heard Elon pulled a bitch move and leaked DMs.
Yes. Okay, so let me break it down as best I can for you.
Which by the way, is like, that's a no. You never do that.
Yeah.
Unless you get permission from the other party.
What was the name of the other guy you were telling me last night who had done it? Was it
so this was you know, as heel versus babyface.
Yes.
And that Starfield rant. It's like fucking pronouns.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, Ackman was trying to was reaching out to him, trying to get a conversation or whatever, and Az wasn't really interested. And Mahler was the middleman, and like going back and forth between Az, Mahler, Ackman, just trying to get it together. And Az wasn't really that interested, and so it all fell apart. And then the Ackman, without Mahler's permission, just leaked all the DMs in a video. It's like, dude, this is like private shit. You could have just asked. There was nothing like really telling or like what would be controversial in the DMs or anything. But it's like, dude, this is like a private conversation. It's like, here we go, world. Check this out.
And I mean, just to kind of give some context here, this whole thing goes from Path of Exile 2 run that Elon Musk had put forward as his own, was being criticized because he was promoted as this high-ranking player in Path of Exile, and he was doing really stupid like misclicks and stuff like that. He wasn't using the quick selects and stuff, and he wasn't organizing his inventory, and he at that point, at his current rank in the game, should have had thousands of maps that he had ran through in that game. So there was so many things he was doing in like concurrently in his playthrough that were making it more and more apparent that he had actually not managed his own account on this run or on this game.
Botting it?
Well, the idea is maybe he's botting it, maybe he's having other people play through it for him. I did look into, there was an update today where there was Elon Ma was his Chinese counterpart. I wonder if I can just pull that up.
Elon Ma.
Yeah, I wonder if I could find I want to try to see if I could find Elon's post from today. But yeah, Elon Ma was something that was I think one of his posts from earlier today. Yeah, and
that sounds correct.
I wonder if I could just find that account. But yeah, so Elon Musk was Elon Musk playthrough.
Elon Musk is my brother made in China.
So yeah, I don't know another Elon fake. Trying to see if I can find where it relates to Asmongold. Okay, maybe this is it. Elon streaming PoE cropped 25% evidence against him. Account boosting in PoE, referring to him as Elon Ma is Peak X. Okay, yeah, so that's the reference, is that Elon Ma was this character that Elon Musk had created apparently for boosting his account in order to make his account boosted.
Starlink streaming in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, Elon Mar-a-Lago. That'd be funny.
It's such some petty bullshit.
Well, and
it's hilarious.
That's the frustrating thing, is that you don't need, like, first off, you don't need to impress anybody with gaming skills. Like, honestly, as a gamer, I would love to know that the guy who's starting a new AI gaming studio would be the guy who's actually good at gaming, but I don't care. We got Colton in the chat. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you. You're missing out this stream. You should have been here. You could have been the one. But Elon...
No, you become a catty bitch when Colton's sit next to you.
I do. I'm a little bastard. But so Elon... So Asmongold calls out Elon Musk for his PoE playthroughs and them not looking as though he would be the rank he claims to be. But all of this actually goes back to Asmongold was Elon Musk reached out to Asmongold asking him if he would be interested or have interest in streaming on X, his gaming streams and his show that he does, and seeing what he would want to do on that. But as the conversation progressed, Asmongold just let Elon Musk know, hey, I have editors, I want to talk to them real quick and just see what they think about this. This sounds like a good opportunity. And Elon Musk responds back, interesting. And I love that. So that's the content of the leaks, the leaked DMs that happened.
Wasn't he like claiming it's like, oh, you got editors, so you're not like authentic, you edit everything, blah blah blah.
So Elon hasn't said that. I think he said that Asmongold has to go check with his masters, something to that effect. I'm looking for the original responses back and forth from Elon and Asmon, but they're not in this string, so I'm gonna have to look a little harder for them. Colton reminds us in the chat that he was not invited. Good, smart. No,
There's a reason for that.
I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm just kidding. You were always invited, standing invitation. But yeah, so it actually started off with Elon reaching out to Asmon, trying to get him to stream on X and seeing what that would look like. Asmon says, I have editors I want to talk to, and it seems... So Asmon had an hour-long breakdown on this whole thing, and in his breakdown, he goes over... and actually, I should probably just pull that up so we know exactly which one we're talking about, not the other one we had apparently fast traveled to, but not the
Good
one.
producer.
Yes. Where is
Just go to videos, it'd be in the top.
Right. Maybe. Okay.
Go on.
Yes, so Elon just released the DMs. So in his video, he goes over and he's talking about how he believes that Elon's takeaway from their conversation was that Elon thought his reference to editors meant he had authorities and people checking his content and people looking over and like screening and like a publishing level editor. So in this almost hour-long breakdown that Asmongold goes through, he makes that point. And I think that's a level of misunderstanding that the richest man, one of the most powerful men in the world, probably doesn't make. I would be surprised.
It's like he thinks that Elon's like thinking of like his editor being like writing at a newspaper or whatever, where you gotta take it to your editor and blah 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 blah. Instead of this, the editors just break down your videos and make entertaining shit out of shit you've already done.
Exactly. So it's
a misunderstanding.
Yeah. So all of that, I don't buy it. I mean, that's Asmon's position. It's his position to have. He's the one in it. He's the core of the conversation. So I don't have a position to back up against his authority on the topic. It just doesn't seem like that's the kind of misunderstanding that we've been following Elon Musk for a while, Asmongold for a long time, and it doesn't seem like the kind of misunderstanding that tracks with how he normally interacts with people. Now, the leaking of DMs feels very Elon in the sense that it's like petty as shit. And I like Elon Musk, for generally speaking, but I really liked a post that I found on X to Asmongold's post. It's actually it's a guy in the MAGA hat saying, no, evil billionaires who bought the government and want a chip in my brain. And you got Bill Gates and George Soros, and then you got the same guy and I bought the government and want a chip in your brain, and he's going, hell yeah. And I'm like, come on, guys.
I don't know.
Can we get some fucking consistency here on this position? Like, we don't have to suck off Elon every time he makes a mistake, or we don't have to softball it. The leaking of the DMs is absolutely fucking horrendous.
I love that one of the richest men in the world is kind of a petty twat. It's fun, but there are things you don't do it.
Yeah,
exactly. You're being that petty.
Well, exactly. And so I was actually kind of expecting Asmongold's breakdown to be a little bit more not volatile is the wrong word, a little bit more aggressive in how he was taking it. So I kind of expected him to be a little bit more defensive and have a little bit more to say against Elon. But he really...
that's pretty cool, though. It's like, hey, check out this private conversation that I'm having with Elon.
Yeah. Well, actually, so the The leaks were on X, and as of earlier, I think last night, they were pulled, so they're no longer no longer up there, but we can see them in Asmongold's video. I'm gonna see if my editors might want to make a second account for it even. And then Elon asks who his editors are. He name drops them, and he like Asmon through this video is parsing through it. He's checking with his editors, make sure it's okay. He's going through all this stuff. He's telling the story about how he met his editors, where they got connected through, etc. So the video is very well like broken down. Asmon does a good job of making sure he's not doing anything that hasn't already been done or isn't okay to do. As far as like the leaking of additional content, you know, you wouldn't want to like you wouldn't want to title your video "Elon Musk just leaked our DMs" and then leak more on your own by accident. I mean, so
leaked our DMs and it just looks like a grinder conversation.
Well, so Asmongold really took this lightly. I mean, he took this super lightly, and I think a couple of the things that the community are really, really more pissed off about on Asmon's behalf are that his verification and his gamer tag or gamer badge were both removed. After Asmongold called him out for his Path of Exile run that looked to be faked, or his account that looked to be faked. So just to make sure, just to recap the order of events, Elon reaches out to Asmon about streaming on X. Asmon says that he's going to talk to his editors, and the conversation more or less fizzles out, and they don't talk to each other for a little bit. Then the Path of Exile drama comes up, and Asmon's reacting to it. He's not the one like breaking the story. So he's reacting to other YouTubers covering it and going over it. And then he makes his own video covering it, and Elon Musk like pulls his verification and his gaming badge from his X account. And that, I think, in addition to the leaked DMs, set a lot of people on fire, because that was the thing you said you were like against when you bought X, and that's the reason you had a lot of support. And maybe not even a majority of the people who backed Elon Musk were about it for that reason, but you had a lot of additional support. Let's say it's 30% of people said we want a completely neutral platform on as far as Twitter goes, so we're going to support Elon Musk. And then 70%.
Yeah, it's a town forum or a town square where it's like it's open to everyone. I like the idea that like Elon's like, fuck this guy, Polish.
Well, and I had to look into this a little bit last night. So there was when Elon originally bought Twitter, you know, the verification badges were free. Like, you didn't have to spend money. You just had to like put up a phone number or something to be verified. And so it was very, very easy to create verified accounts and verified bot accounts. And then Elon started making attaching a price tag to verification, and then he started purging all the bots. And
yeah, that was soon after he bought it, though. It was like, hey, $8 a month to get a blue check mark.
Yeah,
shit like that.
It was one of the first moves for sure. It was very, very early in that process. You're right. But what he was also doing was he was, for people who were either friends of his or people who were famous and we already had their accounts more or less verified or already knew of their accounts, he was giving them verification for free as in a way to promote the platform and keep growth happening on the platform by having all of these prominent names on it. So that was originally one of the marketing strategies for keeping Twitter big. Right, you didn't want to put a price tag on it and have a mass exodus. So for the people who were the biggest, who complained the hardest about having to pay for it, they gave them verification. And apparently, I'm discovering this for the first time. This is news to me. That the verification and the apparently gaming badge were both gifted to some people. Apparently, as I'm watching,
I did not know. I didn't know about that. I thought it was just a blanket, like everyone. Because you had like celebrities bitching about paying $8 a month for a fucking check mark.
Right?
So.
And I was well, actually, so what would we do with ours? Trying to see if I could find the verification or the profile stuff.
Subscription kind of
premium. Okay. So yeah, the subscription stuff on X is actually, I think, reasonable. You disagreed with me when we were going over this last night. I think that I think 250 or 270 for the ability to post longer videos and stuff like that is perfectly sufficient. You know, for our benefit, if we wanted to post our videos on X, we could, but we would probably want to go to premium just so that you guys know who is third party studios, who's Talks, who's the Cody, Snipe Dog, the whole crew. But then you have the article stuff like as a publishing forum and stuff like that. That's above what we're doing. But all in all, I think these are pretty fair, reasonable numbers. I guess
No, I don't like it.
you
I don't like that it's become a streaming service almost, where it's like, hey, you pay and you don't get ads, or you get like the boosts. Like you pay,
so
the more you pay, the more like your shit ends up in the algorithm.
yeah. So so he's
Not a
talking
fan.
about he's talking about guys in the chat. The basic account has a small reply boost. The premium account has a larger reply boost, and you get paid to post, or you get paid to post in the sense that like when verified accounts interact with each other on X, they generate ad revenue for the original poster of the content. So people who are on Premium Plus, they will get paid if their posts generate interactions from other verified sources.
And also impressions.
and-
Like the more impressions you get, the more pennies you get, basically. But
Yes, and this shouldn't be news. I know that a lot of when this was originally announced, a lot of creators had broken down this program because they were participating in it. I first heard that story from Tim Pool, who was covering his like going off of X, and he wasn't even like one of the biggest accounts. He was relatively in the high medium range of who was getting paid out versus the upper echelon of people who were making. Oh God, who was making like $20,000? Like Tim pointed to someone who was making just ridiculous sums of money off of their interactions on X, and it was absurd. It was crazy. Anyway, the fact that you pay for it, here's where this kind of came from for me. I was watching Asmongold's breakdown, and he made a comment on there that I think most people probably missed, and this is why I feel a little less intense about the verification and the gamer badge thing, and I think why he's probably not so frustrated about it is that he made a comment saying that like now I'm going to have to start paying for my verification and for my gamer tag. And I'm like, oh,
so he got it for free, and now he's got it.
Exactly. If you watch the full breakdown, it's a passing comment, guys. You got to look for it. I should have marked it. I should have clipped it.
You should have marked it.
I should have.
Fuck, were you thinking?
I should have clipped it. I'll think about doing that later. If I have time, I'll go back and clip it. Otherwise, just go watch the original video. Otherwise, the audience should just go watch the original video, and they'll get up to speed on the whole story. Honestly, I think the reaction about
even him bitching about it's like, all right, yeah, pay the $8 a month. Like, why are you complaining about it? You have 3.3 million subscribers. I think you can afford it.
Well, and I don't think he's pissed about this at all. So like in the video, you hear him talking about like how he's just not frustrated about it. Apparently, this is a journey for him that he's on where he's trying to not react.
It's basically like, hey, this is what's going on right now.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Do you remember the whole Palestine Israel thing for Asmongold when he was kicked off of Twitch?
What's Palestine? I never heard of it.
Oh, Gaza. Sorry. Oh, what's that? What's that? Sorry. None of these things are fake. Not real. No genocides. There is no such thing.
There's nothing happening across the ocean.
We don't know. I haven't seen it for myself, so it's not real. But no, Asmongold was kicked off of Twitch, and remember when there were posts going around of him cleaning his room and stuff? Like he was. So I think very recently he probably had like an epiphany about that stuff, and now he's probably trying to take this less seriously. I mean, the impact to him is insignificant when you think about.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen him mad either. He's just kind of like a chill dude.
Exactly. The community.
It's kind of the way I would take it, just be like, all right, this is odd.
I think the community reacting is far more aggressive. Like when you have like number one retweet or number one posts are like violating his own terms of service, just minutes. Or just mutes the whole conversation through those he's got no credibility in gaming world or online at all now. Why should we trust him in capacity to be a liaison? Holy shit, to the executive branch with Doge, given this behavior.
Isn't he in like the top 20 or 10 of Diablo 4?
Well,
Elon?
Now that's in question. right? Like, I mean, we can look back and see playthroughs of him doing really well at it, and but we don't know that that's necessarily his account either. And someone was talking about how he went on Joe Rogan, and it's like, if you have all these like boosted accounts, you go on Joe Rogan, you talk about being the #1 gamer, and Joe Rogan reacts by saying, "Wow, that's the coolest thing in the world. That's so impressive that you're the #1 at this, and you also have all this other stuff going on." It's like, what we don't know now. Now we have to question that, and I would love to see that get adjudicated.
Yeah, there's plenty of interviews too with Elon's going like he's sleeping at the office. He has no time for anything else. You can't become in like top ranked Diablo player. That's the one that I know about.
Exactly.
If you're that busy of a dude.
No,
Like I have an extraordinary amount of free time. And I don't think I could get up there.
Well, and I love that there were other videos that were covering this where people were going pretty harsh on Elon about it. Like, oh, my brain just, like, as I'm watching or as I'm gaming, my brain just thinks so hard, and I'm thinking about 12 things at once, and now I'm
building a rocket in my brain while slaughtering hordes of monsters.
Yeah, so there were people who were going pretty damn hard on him, and I get it. Like, first off, that's cheating. Call it out. It's bullshit. Don't, like, he shouldn't do that. I don't know what the penalty socially should be about it. Like, it's a non-issue in my mind. I don't think it's indicative of him, like not being able to build rockets or not being the richest man on in the planet. It's like, he's still the richest man on the planet. Companies are still building rocket ships and making electric cars and like being X online as one of the biggest social media platforms. It's not like
also
this.
Doge.
Yeah,
He's got plenty on his plate.
This is not a. Yeah, it's not a.
It doesn't taint Elon for me.
Yeah, it's not a global indictment on all of his projects.
I knew he's petty and whatnot beforehand. And that's what I like about him. He's not like a politician kind of like a billionaire where everything's got to be like calculated, whatever you say, blah blah blah. He's just a dude with multiple companies that has billions of dollars.
Well, and if he's okay, so and also one thing to Elon's point is that he has always been one of the biggest advocates for transparency, and so I don't even know his position on the leaked DMs. Like, you and I count that as a taboo. Don't do that. That's a private conversation, especially when you're two bigger names. Like, all you're doing is reputation burning against each other. And that's really a big part of why it's a taboo. But to Elon Musk, he's like, the bigger you are, the more it should be out in the open what you're saying behind closed doors. Like, you shouldn't be allowed.
Basically, like, everything should be public kind of view.
And to the audience, I just want to be clear. I'm not making Elon's position for him. I'm doing my best to interpret his actions and like draw conclusions. So I'm doing my best, but I'm not trying to say that's his belief. But it does seem he acts as though that's his belief, which is kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing with that. But, and I mean, like, especially when it came to the Twitter files, when it comes to like his position on releasing like when it comes to declassifying stuff through the government, when it comes to Doge and making sure that even like the omnibus spending bill that happened in politics, like he was like, let's push all of that out. Let's make sure that that's no more of these big spending packages. We're about to come in and clean house, so we don't need another one to deal with, especially when we don't have to. So Elon Musk putting this out there, I mean, it seems petty, but it also is consistent with how he acts, like, in relation to
I mean, that's totally different though, between like Twitter files and whatnot, and then just blasting a private conversation online.
I mean, fair point. I mean, the last thing
I mean, if this private conversation had like massive ramifications, then yeah, I could see that. But it was just like, hey, you want to come stream on my platform? It's like, yeah, I gotta talk to my editor. Blah blah blah. It's like this back and forth. It's inconsequential.
Right. I guess the whole thing. So Asmongold is letting it go. Throughout this entire video, the entire sentiment is Elon Musk is going to reverse. Asmongold says that he believes Elon Musk will reverse course, and he'll be convinced. It's not a big deal. like he still wants to have a good relationship with Elon Musk. He even made a comment in there. He's like, someday I might want to go to SpaceX and go on a tour and stuff. He wants to be cool with Elon, and this is just not hurting him. Whatever this did obviously didn't scratch him. So I mean, and he's not emotionally impacted by this. I think
Right.
the hour
Could you
long.
imagine pissing off one of the most powerful people in the world? Terrifying.
Dude, I piss off everybody I piss off everybody equally. I think I've made everybody mad at least one time. Not as much as you. You make people hate you. You bitch.
What?
You suck. You're the worst. No,
I'm like the Asmongold in this, where I'm just like, yeah, no, shit happened, whatever.
I'm just gonna
Get on with my day.
dude, if I had leaked our private conversations, the world would burn. Like everything would just be on fire. But it's
You leak anyone's private conversations, be like, you know how people are like all prim and proper or whatever in public life, where they say everything right, and then you go through the text messages and it's just like, fuck you, fuck. There's a bunch of gamer words in there.
Do you see any of the hypocrisy in this? I do see the hypocrisy in the leaking of the DMs versus his position on X, but I think it's outweighed by his like transparency positions harder. Like I think there's a rationale in Elon's head. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying there's an explanation that makes sense if you think about it in a certain way from a certain perspective. I don't think that like makes it less bad. I just am curious where, if you see it as hypocrisy, if you see it as him just being a petty bitch, or like what do you think this is, as far as like
I don't even really know, to be honest. It's almost like like these guys would be like fighting in like a LAN party or whatever, if like just take away all the like dollar signs and whatnot, and they're just two dudes. It's like this just seems like a squabble at a LAN party.
Well, and Asmon actually talked about that too. Like, remember, he was a guild master for World of Warcraft for a long time, and I mean, he was used to those types of arguments all the time, and so he actually attributes that experience with this whole thing. It's like, I've dealt with these kind of petty things before. They're stupid. They fade out. It's not important. It's not a big deal. I'm fine. He's fine. Like, everyone's good. So like, it's not a big deal. But
when it comes to Elon too, I just like, could you focus like more on the Doge thing with Vivek Ramaswamy instead of this kind of shit?
yeah, I would like to see Elon Musk realign his focus as well. Now, I'm hypocritical in that sense because I have also, like, we've just done podcasts like in the last couple of months talking about Elon and gaming and creating a new gaming studio and all of that stuff, and it's like we've been like, yes, make us a gaming studio where we can finally have decent games coming out again. And it's like,
but that's just him writing a check though,
right,
putting people in charge of it.
Yeah, that's all he has to do, kind of get out of the way. I mean, I totally know what you mean. God damn, this guy posts a lot. I was hoping to find something on Elon Musk's side.
So.
Yeah, I was still hoping to find something on his side of the world talking about Asmongold, but I was wrong. All in all, I would say that the Elon Musk thing, we have to keep holding him accountable. Like, he is not just a part of government going into the next year or so. He is also the richest man in the world. He is someone that, love him or hate him, we have an obligation to keep our eyes on him and make sure that he is living up to the standards that he is setting. Like, just
very influential figure for the future. So
yeah, it's like the people who hate Elon Musk and the people who hate Donald Trump and the people who hate conservative media, like people like us online, the people who shit about us, their argument is that we are like cult captured, or identity, or we're captured ideologically, and all we can do to prove
we're in an ideological bubble.
Yeah, yeah, and all we have to do to prove that wrong is just keep holding our, like, the people who are proponent,
hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. It's, if you can just prove it by example, then the argument dies instantly. And honestly, Elon Musk, shitty thing to do, leaking DMs. if you have your foot in two different spheres, politics, where you want accountability and transparency, and social media, where there is an etiquette,
and space and
space.
electric vehicles, and
I get it. I don't think this was the Rubicon that like ruins things for Elon Musk. I just think it's a big story, two really big personalities clashing, and it seems like Asmon wants it gone, or wants to let it fade out. And Elon, I think, has posted a couple of things following up, but this is more or less fading out. So this should be interesting to see if there's any developments this next week. But I expect that this one, now you guys know. Now you guys know what's going on with Asmongold and Elon Musk.
I want more petty stuff between them.
It's fun.
I know Asmon won't like try to do anything, like he has power to, but like Elon with all of his power, he just does like little things.
Yep.
Like push Asmongold's buttons or whatever, and then I get a short in my algorithm that's like, all right, here's the update between me and Elon's rivalry.
Oh, I mean, there will definitely be videos to talk about for sure. And maybe we'll have updates next weekend.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits. Don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.